sense. No. No, they don't. Common sense is not common, as we well know. We have to teach them how to common sense. Preventing your children from experiencing things teaches them to lack common sense. Teaching them about Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny is not filling their heads with anything useful at all. Now, I noticed that there's a lot of these feminist groups, these woke groups. Who is it that they all out? The homeless and men. They always leave out the homeless and men. The LGBT community matters. Homeless don't. Men don't. We speak about all these marginalized people in our society. No, the most marginalized people in our society are the disabled, homeless, and men. The most marginalized, bar none. Disabled men are at especially high risk when it comes to being killed by police. Yeah, tell me that doesn't show extreme bias. We are taught and expected to turn away from crimes committed by women because those crimes were always a man's fault. It's a man's fault that she committed those crimes. Well, that's just stupid. That is fucking stupid. Telling me that I owe you for your decisions? You want to go dating the same asshole 5 times? 5 different times. Every time you go to people who help you to get out of that situation, and then you kick them in the face by going back and then pretending everything was okay and that you were just meddling. No, you called me and asked me for help moving you out because your husband beat the shit out of you. That's not me meddling. That's you asking for help and me actually helping. Now we get to see how biased the world really is, especially third world countries. No, not third world countries. First world countries. First world countries where people live in third world conditions. Oh, that's gross. You won't support men's rights because you still want someone to blame. You still don't want to take accountability. You all have PTSD over things that never happened just because, of course, you have been taught that that is okay. We're now woke. For the most marginalized people in our society are disabled, homeless, and men. Why is that? Because we want to use the term mentally ill for anything that a man does or a woman does, of course, that hits headline news. Oh, it couldn't possibly be because they were being victimized and blown off and, of course, being victimized by their trusted adults. It could never have anything to do with that. Most people aren't going to take a gun and walk into work and kill everybody for being pieces of shit to them. Most of them are just going to give up hope, stick that gun in their mouth, and pull the trigger. Well, that's more likely the way that a man will do it. Men and women tend to commit suicide differently. We've taught women that a man is expected to drop everything that he has going on at a moment's notice because she asked, and if he didn't, he's not a real man because he's not protecting your virtue, not protecting your wants. If he doesn't do what you want, he is a horrible person. Well, guess what? I believe in equality. If you're going to treat people like that, I don't mind treating you back like that. If you want to try to pity party everybody into doing stuff for you and use the "I'm a woman, you have to" thing. No, I don't. Like with Shea Burton, it never had anything to do with right and wrong. It had to do with popularity. It had to do with attention. Yeah, she liked the power of dating Theo. She liked the power of knowing that she could berate and bully people, and they had to be afraid of Theo. Then she got beaten up by two of Theo's girlfriends at the same time, because Theo told her he was done with her. She didn't understand that he was a horrible person for being rid of her, for being finished with her. He had options. You had options too, but you didn't take them. You made such a shitty mess out of things and being a horrible person to people because of Theo. I don't want to be here. When a male is being victimized, everybody blows him off, unless there is somebody who actually cares right then and there. These women's groups that try to destroy men's lives over false accusations, try to destroy evidence on a man's Facebook or YouTube, or try to destroy it outright. And meanwhile, a man's not heard, especially not if he's homeless, especially not if he's disabled. Statistically, since 3/4 of the women, or 3/4 of the people who are homeless, it's actually 4/5 in most places and 5/6 in a lot of places, the majority of the homeless are men. But not all of them. At a 96% rate of homelessness being men, and 80% of the homeless, between 75 and 80% of the homeless are men. That means even though the math I did says we have about a 1 in 960 chance as a homeless male of being killed, it's actually far greater than that. There's also the fact that I'm disabled. That just gives you excuses. You notice how Shea Burton wants to call herself disabled with PTSD, but with me, she calls it mentally ill. I need mental help. No, I need help stopping abuse, actual abuse. Shea Burton can't handle it, but you expect me to handle it. You expect me to handle hundreds of people doing that and worse. All I did was tell her off. Tell her what a horrible person she is for supporting rapists. Gross. Just gross. Somebody should have looked at that evidence to begin with. If I'd have been a woman, I would have gotten heard. If I had been a woman, people would have cared. If I had been a woman, I wouldn't have had to listen to every woman's problems that offered to help. If I had been a woman, I could have gone to a man for help, for actual useful help, instead of just pretty words. You see how Shea Burton wants to play like she's a victim because I told her off. I told her how she made me feel. How do you like that? How she made me feel. Natalie Bollinger made me feel like killing myself. That's how she and her friends and family made me feel by actually stalking me. While people like Shea Burton, who took many, many occasions to help Theo to stalk people, she just want to play victim. Ew. Ew.